Happy Thursday evening, everybody. I want light, no light. Mood lighting, spooky lighting. How's it going, folks? Happy Thursday night. Thank you for putting up with me not being able to be here on Tuesday. I actually am still in a flare up, but I did not want to miss tonight. So, how's everyone doing? Let me know how my volume is. I did an adjustment. I seemed on Sunday on the playback, I seemed a little louder than everyone else. Um, I don't want people to have to continually adjust their volume. So I think Alan's gonna join me, but I am not sure. Let me text him here. Oh, he's coming. He must be watching me. Who we got here? Let's see. Horror reader Darren, right? Forgive me. Suzanne, Kim. It's Thursday night. That means tomorrow is Friday, Kim. It's almost the weekend. Almost the weekend. Uh, you coming to the, you guys coming to the hangout tomorrow? As you guys know, we do a hangout every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, all right. I have been rereading, to be accurate, some of my some of Laird Barron's work, um, both reading and listening on Audible at night. Let me grab my phone. Kim, I can almost see the weekend from here. Yep. All right. Audible. Yes. I started listening to the beautiful thing, or the Redfield Girls, excuse me, in the beautiful thing that awaits us all. You can't see it. Um, really great story. I reread Tiptoe a few days ago, which, if you haven't read that one yet, um, you should. I listened to In a Cavern in a Canyon. I haven't read that one in a while. And the reader in that one that's in Laird's latest collection, Not a Speck of Light. Anyway, the man knows how to craft a story where the dread, just creeping dread, you know? So I'm curious, for those of you watching live and later, have you made it all the way through Laird Barron's stuff? Uh, if you happen to be new or haven't read much Laird Barron and you haven't read In a Cavern in a Canyon, I just put the link to Nightmare Magazine, um, where that was published a while back, and you can read it for free, actually. So, so do that. Zoom is killing Alan. If you can't make it, that's fine. I asked Alan at the last minute. Poor guy has to put up with me. Of course, there's the croning. Now, the uh, the point I was going to make is that if you have read all of Laird Barron's stuff and you want more, you probably do want more, and you like more of the same or more from a writer that's I I'm comparing them both favorably. I don't want to say that they write alike. I don't mean that at all. But just that dread, that sense of horror and dread. Brian Hodge is really, really good at that. And when I think of Larry Barron as a writer, I think of Brian Hodge too, and vice versa. So So, if you've not read Brian Hodge, you should definitely do that. And he's got some books on Audible as well. Um, what else have I been reading? What have you guys been reading? I got a nice message from someone, um, a comment on YouTube. I'm gonna read it. This made my day. Um, pull it up here. Here we go. Mike, hello from this is from someone with the YouTube ID of Old Man Abarnathy. Mike, hello from London, UK. Love this channel and your podcast. Discovered it in 2020 during the pandemic. You have a great voice and glad to know others also listen to you to fall asleep too. Um, but that was the part I really wanted to read. It makes me smile because I listen to something every night as I fall asleep. So the thought that there are people out there who are listening to me as they fall asleep, it's kind of full circle. Um, so, hey, look, it's Alan Hughes.
Sure, with the slowest computer on record.
To continue, you're the unsung hero of the horror fiction community and probably have the best interview show there is. Often the only place to find long form interviews with the most notable writers in the genre. Hope you keep in mind what an amazing resource you are for horror fans. Now, when he says that, my mind he's also talking about Alan, Pete, Bridget, Matt, everyone who is part of the show. So nice comment from London.
I saw that.
Yeah, oh, you did. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, so
So yeah, I'm rereading Occultation, and I'm starting at the beginning.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and start with Occultation. Yeah, and I just finished Mysterium Tremendum.
Oh, that's one of my favorite
It is
Blair Barron stories. Did you listen to it or did you read it?
both. So I'm kind of going back and forth. I've got them on both Kindle and audio. So
There's
it's
some really there's some really creepy moments in that story that really don't have anything to do with how it ends.
no,
You know what I mean?
yes.
It's just the whole atmosphere of the story. Um,
It's, this road trip that, every moment you think something, and sometimes bad things happen, but you just feel this sense of that something's going to go wrong at any second.
exactly. Um, a while back I highlighted some of my um, favorite sentences or paragraphs. I think you found the book by accident. There are no accidents around here. Time is a ring. Everything and everyone gets squished under the wheel. Talking about the black guide. A split second before his shape merged with the darkness, it changed. The room became cold. A woman said, "There are frightful things." I couldn't tell where the whisper originated. I mean, that's just, especially if you're listening to it at midnight in bed with the lights off.
Yeah. And the narrator, I mean, because I read those stories first before I listened to them, and that narrator does a performance.
Yeah.
He does voices for every character, and
Is that Ray? Or is it someone else?
it's not Ray Porter.
Who,
Uh,
whoever he is, he does a fantastic job.
yeah, he brings, and that's not a bad thing, but he brings things to the story that I didn't necessarily picture.
Oh yeah, a good narrator can add. There's an added dimension to the story, like Tim Curry with Crouch End. You know.
Yeah, and what I'm doing, and kind of this is the first time I'm read some of the stories, but it's definitely the first time I've read these using the Laird Barron mapping project.
Oh yeah,
So that's,
yeah. You want to explain what that is for those who don't know?
I mean,
Oh, congratulations, Kim.
excellent. Kim. Yeah, I guess to reduce it down or be reductive, it's a wiki. But I guess it's not fan. It's somebody has wrote it themselves, and it's draws connections between his stories. And I really didn't. I knew his stories were connected, but I didn't realize the extent of his interweavings. It's
He
like,
does a really great job too, and I think he's using I just blanked on the software, but there's a visual on the page too for each story. You can visually
oh
follow it,
yeah,
so that's pretty neat. Mysterium Tremendum, for example, when they're driving through the forest, there's another one that I highlighted, gosh, years ago now. The heavy, ponderous vehicle seemed fragile now, and I imagined how it must appear from above, a lonely speck trundling through an immense forest. This is at night, and that visual
yeah,
adds to the creepiness.
yeah. And then that scene where they've been in a fight and he's
Yeah.
driving through that road that's. I mean, if you've I've not drove through that part of the country, but at night,
Well, I told Laird about this story a while back. Um, there's a sentence it's about the woods and how spooky they are at night, especially. There was, I told Laird about this experience when we were talking about Mysterium Tremendum, and I said years ago, this was probably 20, well, no, 18, 19 years ago. Hi, Kat.
that's Mina.
So Danielle and me and Logan were we went to this was in Iowa, and we went to one of the state parks just to, you know, um, they're cool,
Yeah.
and especially in the fall up there. So we went there in the daylight, maybe in the mid afternoon, and then while we were there, it started getting dark, and that didn't creep me out at all. But we started walking back towards our car where our car was parked, which is probably at least half a mile through the woods. And I told Lara, I started to get this really, really strange feeling, get really creeped out. And I'm not someone who gets creeped out, you know? And this creeped out feeling was telling me, you need to get your wife and your little boy back to that car and drive away just as soon as you fucking can, you know? And I didn't let on to them that I was creeped out because that would have done nothing but creep them out. But
I mean, those feelings you need to listen to them sometimes.
yeah, that's what he said too. And he's like, your subconscious brain, forget exactly what he said, but it was something like, your subconscious brain was possibly, noticing things that your conscious brain was not, someone, something, whatever. And you're right, you got to listen to those.
Well, I mean, and there could be. I think sometimes there could be science behind that. I
Oh,
follow weird.
absolutely.
I follow weird science news stories like you do. And a few weeks back, I saw like scientists are talking about discovering new human senses that they weren't aware of. Have you seen some of those stories?
No, I haven't. Tell me about that.
It was about one of them was like an ability to remotely touch objects or to detect objects near
Hmm.
you, kind of like I guess, a bioelectrical field.
Hmm.
And they had test subjects move their hand over like a sand, and there were objects buried in the sand, and people could detect them, just from like an inch or two away. You could, more often than not, test subjects could feel an object near them, and it's the same thing when you're in the dark. and you're
Right.
reaching for something. You don't know, you feel something in front of you,
Right.
and they're working out the science of that.
There was one other time that I had an encounter in the woods. Both times nothing happened, but it was just the creepiness of it that I don't really experience often. This was way before Logan was born. We were living in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and a friend and I decided we had read on the internet, this was like 1997, and we found this um, page on the internet about this little cemetery, and it was called 13 Stairs. And the reason why it was called that was because to get to it, it's just on a little hill, and you walk up 13 stairs, and you're at the top of the little hill, and then there's the grave. There are the graves. Well, there was always rumors about ghosts and everything, and supposed ghosts being captured on film and everything. And we went out there at midnight, and it was quite a ways away from the city, like at least half an hour. So we're driving out there in the dark, and we check it out, look at the gravestones. But what it was is it was kind of you drove to it, and then here's the cemetery, and then beyond it, there's just bunch of woods. I mean, nothing but woods for quite a while. And when I got to the top of the hill and I was looking at the graves, and then I just looked into the woods, which they weren't very far away, like 20 feet is where the tree line started. And I just got this really creepy feeling, not like before, not like the later when I was with my wife and son and the other place, but just this feeling like there could be anything or anyone standing in those woods, not too far into those woods, looking back at me, and I don't know it. You know, anything could be in there. You know,
Yeah.
which I didn't really go there because I believe in ghosts or anything. It was just something fun to do, and I've got an open mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something about the woods. There's also the gateway drug story of knife point horror for a lot of people is the story Staircase.
Staircase. That's the classic.
Yeah, and there's a short passage in there in his narration where something about I have to listen to it again, but something about the the weird woman that's in his house looking out at the woods because his house is next to woods or something like that. And it captured that same feeling, you know.
It doesn't take much for us to get that sense of being the hunted again.
Mm,
Humans, we've not always been at the top,
right.
and just being alone in the woods, you know,
Yeah.
you're vulnerable again.
And it's not like a lot of TV shows or movies where, oh, there's a light coming from somewhere, the moon is really, really bright tonight or something. And you can no, you can't see your hand in front of your face without a flashlight, you know?
Yeah. And if you do have a flashlight, it's still not,
Right.
it disappears in 20. Yeah.
And then you got the creepiness of the dark that's around the light, what you can't illuminate,
Yeah.
you know?
It almost makes it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way. Uh, he also, I highlighted this for a different reason. The fire burned low. Victor stood and stretched. I was raised Pentecostal. Got any idea what that's like? I saw some things you wouldn't believe. I thought, oh yeah, Laird, you nailed it. Especially a cult Pentecostal place. Hey, Chaz.
I have some Pentecostal relatives, so I have some slight experience with that.
Yeah, growing up with things like this being the absolute norm. You think it's normal. People getting demons cast out of them,
Yes.
that
That's
kind
in the
of thing.
story. Yeah, that's in the story.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, Victor refers to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way, at least where I grew up, in the cult I grew up, the way that the demons are out of them is they throw up into a garbage bucket or something. It's just weird talking about it. The things that you grow up from your little boy and you're just immersed in it, so you don't think anything of it. You think it's normal.
I never witnessed that, but I did see speaking in tongues, which
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, Mysterium Tremendum. That's You're right. That's one of my favorites of his. Um, along with like I said, in a cavern, in a canyon, and tiptoe. But there's so many of them. Have you? Well, I think you have actually read a lot of Brian Hodge.
I've read some, yes.
Yeah.
Um, I actually I haven't read it yet. I know it's probably the most minor of his works, but I just got his Hellboy novel.
Hmm. I haven't read that one. No.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, I'm doing a deep background interview, recording a deep background interview with him tomorrow. So that's going to be,
That's, I'm looking forward to that because I know, I don't know much about his background. I don't know
yeah.
what he started with and what got him into writing.
Yeah, and he's a musician as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's just an interesting guy, and he's a really nice guy, too. But I think of them, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, Brian and Laird as similar writers. Well, let's put it this way: Brian Hodge, in my mind, is the closest to Laird Barron, and vice versa, more closer than anyone out there. You know, like John's stuff is great, and it's really creepy, but it's not. He doesn't write like Laird does. So, um, but yeah,
I've read, let's see what I've read by Brian Wickham. I've read Picking the Bones.
that one doesn't ring a bell. But I'm going through I forget the title, one on Audible right now. So it's not available in print currently. So
And I've got I got on it was on sale back in December. I think you pointed out to us the I'll Bring You the Birds.
yeah, I'll bring you the birds from out of the sky.
Yeah, I got that, and I need to. It's on the to be read pile.
Um, Horror Reader says, have you read much of Gary Brunbeck? I I have read a little, but it's been so long ago I can't remember anything. Sorry. Um,
Gary Blondbeck.
yeah. Um, oh, I rented. Um, was it you in the Easy Eaters chat that said that uh, Dust Bunny was available to rent, or was that Bron? It was
That's
that
DeBronzo.
DeBronzo.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I couldn't rent it fast enough, and
I'm.
I don't rent a lot of movies. I like wait for them to be free.
Well, it's Mads Mikkelsen, and he's
Yes.
playing a hitman that's going to maybe kill a monster. That's a sell.
Let me backtrack a sec. Chaz says, "What Brian Hodge should one start with? Anything really? He's got short story collections, six of them, I believe, and he's got novellas. And yeah, like Alan said, you could start with "I'll Bring You the Birds from Out of the Sky." That's a damn good cosmic horror novella. It doesn't get any better, you know. So, but yeah, Dust Bunny. I'm watching it. I'm like 30 minutes into it, and it seems to me it's set in modern day big city, but it actually feels like a dark fairy tale so far. Like normal world logic not applying. Um, we'll see if that it stays that way. But um,
I like movies that kind of create their own world. I mean, you just
yes,
instantly tell that this is its own world and its own rules apply.
that describes this so far very well.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
somebody said that. I don't want, I think we discussed when we talked about, I don't, did you ever see When Evil Lurks, the Spanish film, language film?
I don't think I did.
Yeah,
What's
that's,
that about again?
it's about demon, like exorcist, demon hunters.
Mm,
It's an Argentinian film, and it feels the same way that just
mm,
this is the world
yeah,
it's in, and it's our world, but not quite.
right. And not in a superhero way like the new Superman movie, or I watched Fantastic Four, as I told you guys.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, I wouldn't watch it more than once. Like I've seen Avengers and the other Avengers movies more than once. But still, it was a fun popcorn movie, you know. So, and I guess it's going to tie into. I guess everything's connected now. I'm very proud of them that they finally did a Fantastic Four movie that didn't suck.
it did not suck. It didn't thrill me, but it didn't suck.
Mm. I do like Pedro Pascal quite a bit.
I mean, and I guess if you're trying to recreate the look of the Kirby comics in the night, the Jack Kirby machines and super science,
Yeah.
they nailed that.
And I love that retro futuristic stuff. The round TVs.
The
Um,
Incredibles.
yeah, everything's round. I like it. If I could have round monitors and TV, I'd be like, oh, this is cool.
Fallout does the same thing. That's the same, except it's like
Yes.
post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. Um,
I'm enjoying the second season of that show,
of what show?
The Fallout on Amazon.
Oh, I haven't seen any of it. Would I
Oh,
like it?
I think I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of it's got a lot of humor. It's got the attitude of the game. It's not post-apocalyptic you know, doom and gloom. People are having fun in the apocalypse
Mm.
in the
So it's
ways
not
that they do.
nihilistic or anything.
Well, nihilistic with humor.
It reminds me of a book I'm reading. It's called The Sunny Nihilist.
The sunny nihilist. Well, I mean, there's a freedom in being nihilistic. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's
Well, the author is like in one of the beginning paragraphs, she's like, I realized that nothing I did or anything any human ever did was ever going to matter really in the long run. To the universe, I was just as important. My cat was just as important as I was, and then I experienced this sense of freedom and relief from all this pressure that, oh, you have to accomplish this and that and this and that. I
yeah,
mean, there's
it's
nothing wrong with that. You want to do those things for yourself, but not y- y- because you want to do them. That's the only reason to do them. So if that makes sense.
it does it's if it doesn't make a difference to the world, it still makes a difference to you.
Yeah, exactly. Um, if not, if I always go back to Angel. If nothing we do matters, then all that matters is what we do. Smallest act of kindness is the greatest thing in the world. So, so yeah. What else are you reading or watching, Alan?
Okay. Well, I'm this is a book I just got in. Uh, it's called The Greatest Adventure.
Okay.
Now, are you familiar with MIT's Radium Press?
No. Oh,
Okay, and I was writing an article about it in our workspace, and I'll need to finish it. But
okay.
the editor of this one might be an interesting person to have on. So, like he
Oh,
calls the radium age the science fiction before the golden age. So, like, the golden age begins in the 1930s.
okay.
Uh, and he has collections of stories, science fiction stories from Arthur Conan Doyle, Jack London's in there, W.E.B. Du Bois, and also a lot of writers that we've not heard of. And they're republishing some books. Let me read you about the description of this book.
Okay.
Uh, Intrepid aviatrix Edith Wayne and her explorer companions discover remnants of an elder race in Antarctica. Can they set things right before mutated life forms, animal and vegetable, run amok and threaten the planet?
This sounds familiar.
It came out 2 years before Lovecraft wrote At the Mountains of Madness.
No kidding.
It's very juvenile. It's written for a juvenile kind of,
Yeah.
yay, G adventure kind of style. But nonetheless, it's a fascinating historical discovery in a way. Or
And what's it called again?
it's called The Greatest Adventure by John Taine. He was a scientist and college professor, a mathematician,
Hmm.
who's probably more famous for his math textbooks that he wrote.
Oh, I forgot to say, we were discussing this a little bit earlier, but not here, but elsewhere. It's a very fun popcorn light movie. Fantastic Four, First
Yes,
Steps. But Galactus, I mean, how can he not? This is definitely a little slice of cosmic horror here.
yes,
You
and
know, I mean, you know more about Galactus than I do, but in the movie, um, what he's existed before the universe.
yes, he's from a race. He's like the only survivor of the universe before the Big Bang.
Oh, yeah, that theory. Yeah,
Yeah, so he somehow survived the Big Crunch,
yeah.
the Big Bang.
In the movie, he says, "I used to be tiny like you." I don't know what that meant, but
I think, yeah. And there's probably again, DeBronzo's probably read more on. I know he's read a lot more about Fantastic Four than I have, but I think yeah, he was from a. I don't know what his race looked like because there's also stories where Galactus looks like whenever he comes to destroy a planet, he looks like he takes the form
oh
of
yeah,
the alien
yeah.
or the whatever the predominant population is.
Well, you have a guy that's just huge in size that is going to consume the entire planet. Um, that's what he does. I mean, that's cosmic horror,
Yeah.
definitely. Even if it is in a lighthearted superhero movie, you know?
Well, I mean, he's driven by hunger. He has to consume planets or
Right.
his existence ends. And if his existence ends, the idea is that, the universe is out of balance.
Oh, right, right. I, yeah, DeBronzo was saying something about that.
Yeah.
Huh. Uh,
So we will see the Fantastic Four again in the Avengers movies.
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
When's that come out?
End of this year?
Oh, wow. So that's the next Avengers movie. I
Yes.
was I wasn't clear on that. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know how burnt out I am on them. I don't know if I'll go see it in the theater, but I'm sure I'll see it. You
It's
know.
going to it's going to kind of if I guess if you've not been following a lot of the Marvel movies lately, I
No,
guess
I haven't.
the bulk of the cast will not be too familiar with to you. Um,
Um,
They'll have the Thunderbolts.
yeah, I still need to see that movie. Is that worth seeing?
Yes, it was fun.
Compared to, okay, did you like it more or less than Fantastic Four? Oh, he has to think about it.
Less.
You liked it
Probably
less
less.
than Fantastic
Probably.
Four? I don't know if I am going to watch it then.
It I'm trying to even remember who the villain was. So, Fantastic Four, Galactus, that's
Right.
you've got
He's
that
hard to
well.
forget. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can remember some funny lines and some funny scenes. David Harbour was really fun as the with his over-the-top Russian accent. Uh, but who was the villain? Oh, yeah, okay. I shouldn't say because it's kind of a spoiler, but
Okay. Well, if I see it free sometime and I'm really bored, I'll watch it.
Kim's mentioning Blade. Blade is the only Marvel superhero I need. Did you hear the bad news about that?
No.
It's canceled officially.
Oh no, Kim. Are you gonna be okay, Kim? Uh,
Yeah, they've been kicking around the Blade movie for probably 7 or 8 years, and it was confirmed but they are going to try to use him in a Midnight Suns movie.
in what?
Midnight Suns. That was a Marvel comic and a video game, and it used Marvel's supernatural superheroes.
Okay.
Uh,
Is this sort of like Justice League Dark or
it's
something?
a lot like Justice League Dark.
Okay.
It has
You have to
Blade.
frame it in DC terms for me to
Yeah,
understand.
translate your Marvel to DC translation tool.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. Speaking of, remind me to say something when you're done.
yeah, that was it. I'm trying
Oh,
to remember who the characters were. I think Ghost Rider's in it. So, but I mean, if I'd really love to see the new Marvel bring back Ghost Rider, but it's not the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider.
I
Uh,
think they're going to do a second Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
I rewatched that the other day.
Did you? It's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
People give it shit, but I like it.
No, I mean, you've got a great cast: Rachel Weisz, Shia LaBeouf, and Peter
A great devil.
Peter Stormare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably the best representation I've seen.
yeah.
At least one of my favorites, I should say. Uh,
And that was when Keanu was starting to finally get good as an actor.
don't worry, we won't keep talking about superheroes for too long, Chaz. Chaz says, "Why can't I get into superheroes? Is it me?" Yes, you're a terrible person because you can't get into super. No, no, it's you don't
I think
feel
not a
lacking. It's
superhero.
just, different strokes is all it is. That's all it is. I mean, I can't get into romance novels. That's probably a terrible example, but I don't like body horror. I don't know if that's a good example either. But yeah, no, yeah. You be you.
And you told me to remind you were going to say something.
Oh, sorry, Chaz. Yeah, I read the sorry, because I'm going to say something else about comics. I read the Batman First Night series today, those three issues.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah, it was great. And I guess there's a Batman Second Night out now when Superman's in it. That's all I know.
And that's okay. And I didn't read that one. It's set
Well,
in
I haven't read that, but the Batman First Night, it's set in 1939,
yes.
and there's talk of fascism and worried about that coming to American shores. I mean, geez, that could never happen, right?
That'll never happen.
Yeah, that'll never happen. And yeah, and it's great because that's the exact year that Batman did start. That Batman was created in 39. And it's just a really good yeah, I like that world. They do a great job of representing it. His costume somewhat different. It does look like the 39 one, you know.
How he lost his virginity.
How did Batman lose his virginity? I don't know, but he's the ladies' man if he wants to be.
Maybe he never lost it. That's why he's so angry.
Yeah, you never know.
All an act.
Uh Astronomers, here's a article I found from last week. Astronomers find a ghost galaxy made of dark matter.
I saw that story.
You did?
Yes.
Let's see. I don't want to read the whole article, but I want to read it. Well, here's the summary. Hubble has revealed a strange cosmic object called Cloud 9. Interesting. A dark matter dominated cloud with no stars at all. Scientists believe it is a failed galaxy, a leftover building block from the early universe that never lit up. Its discovery confirms long-standing theories about starless galaxies. Cloud 9 offers a rare glimpse into the dark side of cosmic evolution. I'll link to that article in the side chat, guys, in case you are a nerd like me and you like this astronomy news. But I don't want to put a Lovecraftian spin on everything, but it has that kind of vibe to me, like uh, could any living beings evolve in something like that? I don't know. I guess the odds are probably not, but
I
the
mean,
other thing I think of with a Lovecraftian bent to it in astronomy is rogue planets, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
oh yes.
Um, the rogue planets don't orbit a star; they're just traveling through space, and which begs the question: how could life evolve? Well, possibly the same way that life has evolved, or there's life on the ocean floor with those magma vents. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, draw energy from geothermal heat.
Exactly. So, you know, if I was writing a story that involved a rogue planet and it was a cosmic horror story, there's a lot there that you could use. What kind of creatures would evolve on a planet like that? You know, so
And if such a rogue planet entered our solar system, would it get captured or would it just bullet through?
I'd say it depends on its speed.
Yeah,
Sorry. Um, sorry,
math.
it depends on its speed,
It's
depends on
math.
how close it is to the sun. Um, Chaz read that story, um, A Pail of Air, for us a few months ago, where that's an old science fiction story where a rogue planet enters our solar system and it tugs the Earth out of the solar system. So, um,
It's also one of the Doctor Who origin stories of the Cybermen.
oh,
Um,
it is? I didn't know
is
that.
yeah, it's the Big Finish did an audio called Spare Parts. It's really one of their probably their top five of all time, and
Hmm.
it's got the fifth Doctor, and he lands on this rogue planet, and the people it was Mondas, which is one of the origin planets of the Cybermen, and the people, I guess it was once a planet orbiting a sun, maybe even our sun, but it went adrift into space, and so the people have been burying themselves underground trying to get to the source of heat.
Hmm.
Uh, but they still need people to go up to the surface and do work, and that's where the Cybermen come from. They're turning people into machines in order to keep their planet sustainable.
What's the name of that story?
Spare parts.
There,
And
I'm
I believe it's if you've
Googling
got,
it.
yeah,
Sorry?
I think if you've got they've Big Finish has put a lot of those on Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's
I'll check
probably
there first. This is only $5.36 if it's not on Spotify, though. So that's one of the better ones, huh?
that's
I've listened
that's
to a few Big Finish stories.
it's up there with Chimes at Midnight.
Mm. Weren't we going to get that writer?
We thought about it, yeah.
Can you contact him?
I think I can, you can, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think I follow him on Blue Sky. I can send him a message that way. see if he
Well,
responds to it.
well, it's funny that you brought up Doctor Who because Corey Herndon's going to be on the show this Sunday.
We had a
Um,
great
uh,
talk with him.
sorry?
We had a great talk with him about Doctor Who a while back.
Yeah, several years ago. So he's going to come on. We're going to talk about Doctor Who and just have a fun conversation. Not just, we'll talk about other things too, of course, but as we always do. But yeah, he's a huge Doctor Who fan. So I think last time he was on, Rick was there too. You know what a huge fan of Doctor Who Rick was.
Rick, Rick, Rick's knowledge and fandom had, I mean, you thought you knew everything he was into, and then you found,
Yeah,
then talked to him, and oh yeah, he knows everything about this subject too.
yeah. Somebody said regarding his death that today a library burned down.
Yeah.
That's just so true. You know, when I saw his daughter's name come over my caller ID, I got this sinking feeling. I knew what she was calling me for. So I
Yeah.
guess it'll be 2 years in April.
Yeah.
Uh, who was it? I think it was Bill Holloway, William Holloway. I was talking to him about recently about when you get older, how much faster the years seem to go by. You know, there's a saying, the days take as long as ever, but the years fly by, you know, which
Yeah.
is so true. But you know, when you're 10 years old, for example, a year is a tenth of your life. That's a big portion of your life.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 50 years old, a year is 1/50th. A year is not that much anymore.
Uh, Related to the when you're a kid, you're waiting for Christmas, and it just seems, after you hit Thanksgiving, it just seems like Christmas will never get here. And as an adult, it's like, can it slow down a little bit? Can we have a little
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
That's the passage of years.
I'm 54 and I often think, man, it seems like I mean, I hope I'm always humble enough to keep learning every day, but it seems like I've got a lot of stuff figured out compared to say 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And I often think, man, I wish I knew everything that I know now when I was 20. Imagine having the wisdom of a 54-year-old when you're 20, you know.
Yes.
Of course, there are a lot of people that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s. They don't learn from life, so they might as well be 15 years old, you know.
I still, part of me though is, yes, now that I'm 50, is I still find that, you know, life can still bring you new things.
Yeah.
The joy of learning, the joy of discovery. Uh, that's to make you feel like a child again.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
and
E-
that's
I
try
mean,
to keep
even if,
that up as you get older. It's hard, but it's I still find it happens.
well, you have to become an adult, right? But you don't
Mhm.
have to, you have to grow up, but you don't have to grow up. You can keep that sense of wonder
Yes.
um, that, most children have. And that the joy of discovery that you were talking about, just, yeah, I mean, even if you're the last person on Earth who learns that, oh, hey, gravity is not a force, it's a function of space-time. It's because space-time is bent,
Oh,
is
yeah.
warped. And even if you're the last person on Earth who comes to that realization, or the fact that light has an actual speed, or whatever, it's still it's wonderful,
Yeah.
you know. So if I mean,
Yeah. Hope I never outgrow that.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, a good teacher can instill that sense of wonder, of discovery into the kids that they teach, you know, which my wife knows and you know. So I think I would have made a pretty decent science teacher, you know.
Yeah. Especially like a middle school,
Yeah.
that
I mean, they
age,
want to learn, right?
when their hormones aren't going crazy.
Right. Danielle's talking about maybe I'll teach fourth graders, instead of high schoolers. I was like, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
That's like 10 years old, right?
I think so. Yeah.
When's it? Let's talk about superheroes. Because Chaz hates them. No, I
Okay.
just want to ask you if you know when the Supergirl movie comes out.
This summer. I can't.
Okay.
I think May.
No, I think I've talked out on superheroes for the night, Chaz. When I'm done here, I'm going to go finish watching Dust Bunny, which has pretty good ratings for the
Okay.
most part.
I'll probably watch it this weekend.
So, yeah, and there's another movie. It's not a horror, but it just came to streaming. I want to watch it with Danielle because she'd love it. Shoot. Song Sung Blue, I think it is.
The Neil Diamond movie, but it's not Neil Diamond.
Right. It's a Neil Diamond. Uh, I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but it looks really fun. It looks really, speaking of discovering not growing up and the joy of life, and not letting life kind of lock you into this routine and not be fun anymore. It
Right.
seems like that kind of movie.
Okay.
I
Yeah. When I first saw the preview, I thought Hugh Jackman looks nothing like Neil Diamond,
don't know. No, he does not.
but he can sing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Danielle will like it. So I think I'll surprise her with it because most movies, when I try to talk her into watching most movies with me, she's like, no. I couldn't talk her into watching Dust Bunny with me. So,
Well, try to watch Angel Heart this weekend.
oh yeah, I gotta rewatch that too. For the patrons watching, uh, we're gonna we still got to decide on the night, don't we? But we're gonna record a Patreon episode, our next in the horror movie discussion series. The Ninth Gate was the last one,
Yeah.
and Matt suggested Angel Heart. I think we should continue on that trend for as long as we can, discussing movies that there's a lot of hidden to discuss. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's yeah, I don't want to say too much about it now because save it. But yeah, Angel Heart fits right in with the Ninth Gate.
Yeah. I saw it first time when I was 18. That ending took me totally by surprise.
Hmm.
And it was horrifying, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching it. So, anyway, thanks for joining me, Alan.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. And thanks to everyone who joined us. Thanks for spending part of your Thursday night with us, or whenever you're listening, even if you're listening at night to get yourself to sleep. So,
Who needs to sleep?
hmm,
Who needs to sleep?
yeah. All right, everyone, have a good night, and we'll see you on Sunday.